I've got some news for you. The dollar isn't going to collapse anytime soon. Is it weakening? Is it devaluing? Yes. Is the pound weakening and devaluing? Yes. Does that make me worried about the future? Yes. That's why I have gold and silver, and that's why I will continue to add gold and silver, especially more fractional stuff like 1 gram gold bars or the beautiful quarter-ounce silver Britannias. There's a lot of benefits to owning gold and silver in an ever-changing world. But at the same time, I don't believe that these fiat currencies that we know and use will go to zero. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it. You can disagree with me all you like, and please share your disagreements down in the comment section. But that's not what I'm about as a stacker and collector. I like to have gold and silver to keep my money safe. But I don't believe it's the alternative to a complete collapse of fiat currencies. And this is why. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome to another Precious Metal Ramble, where we have down-to-earth discussions about all things precious and shiny, and indeed things that are priced in pounds, pennies, pence, and US dollars that are shiny. The relationship between currency and gold and silver has been there for a very, very long time in our history. But in the last 100 years or so of our collective human history, that relationship has fundamentally changed with, of course, the development of more fiat currencies. So those fake currencies, as some people might call them. But unfortunately, those fake currencies are the kind of things that make the world go round. And that relationship that a lot of stackers have with fiat currency relative to gold and silver can often be a little bit, I don't know what the right word is. I was trying to think about what the right phrase is to describe it here today. And it is somewhat, I think, distracting, because ultimately silver and gold are great hedges against the value of the currency, but they are not a replacement for that currency. Now, I know that's probably not going to be the most amazing thing for a lot of people who are hardcore silver stackers, who think that when the world resets, that having a whole pile of fractional bits of silver and gold, like these fractional Britannias, will be the only way that they can manage to get by in a modern world, or at least a post-apocalyptic modern world, where maybe the pounds, pennies, pence have all vanished and they are no longer usable. Maybe the dollar has finally collapsed. We're seeing, of course, big shake-ups in the world from various different geopolitical decisions that are being made, but I'm here to tell you that I don't think those are going to go anywhere. These dollars, whilst they might change in value, and that's what silver and gold are good for, maintaining that value, they are not going to disappear overnight, and we are still going to use pounds, pennies, pence, dollars, euros, and whatever it might be. And if we aren't, if there is some kind of horrendous collapse in the world, then, well, I mean, it won't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So, as we continue with our ramble, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And I'm pretty sure by the time this video goes live that we will have hit 75,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. So onward we march to the 100 subscriber giveaway, where we will, of course, give away lots of very, very cool things made of silver and gold when we get to 100k. So subscribe and like. But for right now, what I will say is, whilst I don't think that relationship between pounds, pennies, pence, dollars, and so on to silver and gold is one that I really am too bothered about in terms of like having to have it to replace the money that I'm using. And indeed, you just can't replace it. We'll touch more on that in a moment. I still do think there is a place for silver and gold in anybody's portfolio. So it's always worth having a good hard think about what is right for you if you are looking to dive in and buy gold and silver, and also have a think about what kind of media sources you're listening to and how they are presenting themselves, what their maybe hidden agendas are. And I do always chuckle a little bit to myself that there's a lot of people who are, I think, firmly within the conspiracy theory kind of community when it comes to gold and silver, and yet they just ignore the ideas that they could be wrong about the fact that there is no conspiracy for gold and silver. It is literally just a world-traded commodity. But hey, that is the very funny thing about our industry, unlike no other industry out there in the world. So a little bit more on all of that after a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by US Gold Mining Incorporated, whose ticker symbol is USGO, and that can be found down in the description box below. Now remember, I'm not here to give financial advice, but I would highly encourage you to go and check them out if you are interested in their operations and do your own research. US Gold Mining Incorporated have a flagship product in Alaska. It is the Whistler Gold Copper Silver project, which includes 3 gold deposits with combined estimated mineral resources of 6.5 million ounces of gold equivalent in indicated and 4.2 million ounces of gold in inferred categories. A really big project. But the most critical development, and in my personal opinion, a potential value driver, comes from the Trump administration's attitude towards Alaska. President Trump indicated he wants to develop Alaska's resources to the fullest extent possible. Mine, baby, mine. The executive order directs US policy to fully avail itself of Alaska's vast lands and resources for the benefit of the nation. The CEO of US Gold Mining Incorporated was part of the team that sold the Coffee Gold deposit owned by Kaminak to Goldcorp for 520 million Canadian dollars in 2016. And whilst we're talking about different projects where outcomes could be different, this is the reason he was recruited to become CEO of US Gold Mining Incorporated, so that he can utilize his skills and set work towards similar goals for US gold mining. With gold recently hitting $3,400 an ounce, the best performing major asset class in 2025 so far, and with Trump's massive executive order for the benefit of the state of Alaska, with one major corporate shareholder owning 80% of US Gold Mining Incorporated and a CEO that's fit for the role, one would say that the future could be very bright for US Gold Mining Incorporated. Now, with all that said, it's important to remind you that this is not investment advice, and I would certainly caution anyone to do their own in-depth research into their organisation. If you're interested, go and check out the links in the description box below, where you will see links to US Gold Mining Incorporated's website and corporate presentation. A big thank you to US Gold Mining Incorporated for sponsoring today's video, and now back on with our main topic. Now, the world of gold and silver, I think, is a really interesting one, and for the last 9 years of me making videos here on YouTube, I've been fielding off silly questions and comments of people saying that I think silver's going to go to $1,000 an ounce, $600 an ounce. There's a video that I saw recently on that exact subject. And honestly, sometimes you just can't reason with some people. They just want to see the world burn, and they don't understand the sheer simple principle of the fact that if the dollar was devalued such to a point that silver got to $600 an ounce or $1,000 an ounce, that you would have very serious problems in this world. Not just in that the dollar would be devalued, but there'd be other reasons why that's happened. You know, we're seeing, of course, all-time highs for gold recently. Of course, $3,000, I think it was $400 an ounce in the UK, $2,600, pounds an ounce it tipped over at. And the uncertainty that's caused by the next announcement from the White House in the global markets has only bolstered the fact that gold will stay at these pretty high highs, and I think is actually considerably undervalued to where it is. And that wasn't a dispersionary attack against Donald Trump. I'm trying to keep politics away from this channel as best as I can, but the point still remains that markets react to uncertainty, and you just don't quite know what's going to come out next. I do genuinely, firmly believe that in the future there will be a big win for stocks and shares, a big boon. I think we've seen, you've only got to look at the Trump slump, as some people call it, recently. It slumped back massively, but has come back in full force. And markets go up, markets go down. That's just the way of the world. And as with stock markets, some people will say, oh, buy the stonk because you like the stonk and it will go to the moon. And it's the same with silver. People want this quick fix. They want this, $600 an ounce plus, and it'll happen at some point in the next 5 years. It'll happen. No, it won't. It really won't. I've been doing this long enough to know that it won't. And it's the same with anything in this world. People just want that quick fix, easy win, lots of money in the bank, and Bob's your uncle. That's just the way that it seems modern world is working. So where it all ties together is that you do now have, unfortunately, an agenda-driven social media landscape in this modern world where things are just said for clicks. And, I suppose in a certain way I've been somewhat guilty of having clicks for views or whatever it is, titles for clicks. Look at this big damaged Queen's Beast Completer. I've got plans for this. Oh boy, I've got plans for this bar. There's just this so much social click media landscape, and I have been guilty of that to a certain degree across my lifespan. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for the fact that YouTube is a thing where you can earn money from making videos about things. And I've never shied away from the fact that my channel's monetized and I'll have advertisements in there. And, you know, the buzz that you get when you get a video that goes viral is not to be underestimated. But I've always been, I think, at least in my head anyway, I've been quite down to earth, like a Precious Metal Ramble, just about down to earth rambles of things around silver and gold. And I've always tried to be as honest with you guys here on the channel as I possibly can if you've been long-term viewers, or just for those occasional people that might just watch one video. Gold and silver are not going to go to the moon. The pound and the dollar are not going to collapse tomorrow and yield absolute catastrophe for the gold and silver markets. I say catastrophe as in the gold and silver will shoot up to the moon. That's just not likely to happen. What we are going to see is instability, and what we are going to see is slow, steady growth of the value of silver relative to the value of precious metals. That's what it's for. That's what gold is for, to protect your monetary financial stability over a long period of time. And that's why I invest in gold and silver. But the notion that it's going to go to the moon is a silly one, and it always has been. And there's a lot of good creators out there that will say sensible things and will have that sensible approach to the world of precious metal investing. But there are equal, if not more, in fact, I'd say there are a vast amount more kind of content creators out there that will just basically shill to the moon and just fearmonger, and or just maybe they're just not. I don't know what. I don't like saying people are too stupid to understand the difference, but there is just a element of you can't change their mind about it, and that's the conspiracy kind of theory element that I don't like about gold and silver. Have my opinions changed on the world of gold and silver over the last 9 years? Yes, totally. Have my opinions changed on the world of money and cash and the man, the government, and how that's interacting with our world? Yes, for sure, certainly. But it's not to the point where I worry that the man is after me and that I need to go get gold and silver and I need to spend cash in society. And it's just not the way the world is. And certainly in an ever digitized world with digital currencies and whether or not there'll be CBDCs and how that will be having impacts on people. I mean, the whole CBDC thing, there's this whole conspiracy theory run on those kind of things and how that's going to interact with precious metals and how banks and CBDCs and central bank will be able to basically tell you what you can and cannot buy. And they don't want you to own gold and silver. And, you know, I've been guilty of a few bits of clickbait myself where, you know, I've had videos where the bank has told me, no, you cannot buy gold, you cannot buy silver. And it's nothing to do with a conspiracy theory on those restrictions. It's just literally the banks being stupid and, you know, the world being stupid. That's where we are with it. So, yeah. 75,000 subs. Let's finish the video by talking a little bit about that. We are there. I hope so anyway. If we're not, it's a bit awkward, but we should be there by the time the video goes live, and that's very cool. And I will be doing a giveaway for the Cool Kids Club. We will now start the march for 100k. So if you're not subscribed, because a lot of people who watch my channel aren't subscribed, and perhaps you're listening still to the end of the video, tell your friends and family about Backyard Bullion. Tell them that I'm not some kind of conspiracy, that's a really hard thing to say, conspiracy theory nutbag that just wants you to buy silver from my affiliate bonus code link in the description box below. It's not who I am, it's not who I will ever be. I will always be the contrarian opinion and thought on this channel, and it's hilarious because in my 10-year here of doing videos, you look at the top 10 videos that I've done on the channel, and they're all about how silver and gold are bad and how you should not buy them. But yet I have a lot of silver and gold. So am I a hypocrite? No, I don't think I am. I think I'm my voice of reason in the crazy, stupid world that has evolved in the last 5 years. Yeah, I like to think of that. And that will ever continue, certainly beyond 100,000. But 100,000 is the next goal. So subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thank you for subscribing if you are already subscribed. It's incredible to have all of you guys watching on the channel. So there we go. Now, to start the run for the 100,000 subscriber giveaway, the Cool Kids Club need to keep quoting me serial numbers. So we have here a 500 gram Umicore silver bar. And if you are cool, then you need to quote me 559301. I will then know that you're super cool. And when we get to 100,000 subscribers, whether that be in a year, a month if we get another couple of viral videos, or 5 years, we will pick a random commenter. And if you're cool, you will potentially win a prize. So there we go. That's it from me. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next video. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.